Alright, this is the remaining board, or a piece of the board. I cut off a little bit off of one end because it had a big knot in it. But this, I think this is worth sharing. I wish I'd have filmed it. But you can see here on the bad side, it's got a rock and it's got a little bit of a twist to it, I think, and it's warped this way. I put this on my jointer table, and I could play with both ends here, and it was almost like a seesaw. I took, instead of kind of putting pressure on both ends like I normally do, I saw a video the other day where it was put out by Fine Woodworking, I think. Anyway, the guy in the video just put his push pad right in the center, kept that same pressure, and made 3 passes and got a board that was worse than this one, fixed up and flat just like that. So I thought I'd try it. I put my pad in the middle. I don't like adjusting my joiner bed. I've got it set where I like it. It takes a thin pass, but he took thicker passes than I did, or meatier cuts, I guess. Anyway, 4 passes, and this thing is, you can see it's just flat. So yeah, it's thicker here and here, you know, and thin in the middle, but it's going to go through my planer now without any problem. I think I'll have a nice board here by the time I get done with it. So I'm looking for a 3/4 inch thickness here. I don't know what I've got there, but it's probably 7/8, I'm guessing, and then probably out on the end here, probably close to a full inch. So nice technique. Just and the other thing that I would have done in the past was put the 2 high points on the joiner bed and work them this way. But you can see I think I would have ended up with a pretty thin board after doing that. So I like that technique. I think that was worth sharing. All right, after playing around with this is the fit I like best. It's a pretty good grain match up the center here. You know, I could have, if I wanted to, I could have taken and split these boards open, gotten book match top, you know, and then glued the 4 pieces back together, jointed them. But I'm not going to go through all that trouble on this particular box. So I like that. I'm going to join this up and you know, put probably some dominoes in here. Love this new setup that I should have done it a long time ago. My workpiece is rock solid, and quite honestly, it took me longer to set this up than it will to cut these joints. Well, first you got to be plugged in. Hang on. I think it'll work a little better this time. It's kind of interesting here. Hope you can see this. You got glue coming out one of the wormholes, or 2 of them, one there and one there. I was going to fill those later on, but these will already be filled by glue. All right, top's out of the clamps. I'm just mixing up some of this putty, epoxy type putty. It's a 2-part deal. You just knead it together until you get a consistent color. I'm just going to go around and fill the holes, turn it over, and do the other side. This is going to be the top. I got a putty knife here to help me smooth it out, and then I'll sand it up. Okay, I'm at a bit of a impasse here. I've got this rough cut to width. Probably got about 1/8 of an inch to go here yet, or maybe a little more than that. But I should say rough cut to length. The width is yet to be determined, and I need to cut this notch for my handle. And I want to do that before it's glued up. I've had a change of thought on the design here. I'm going to make this 1 5/8, but I'm also going to make it, instead of 3/4 of an inch deep, I'm going to make it 13/16 inch deep, and then I'll have that 1/4 inch reveal around all 3 of these edges. I think that'll look kind of cool. And the way I'll do that is I'll put a little piece, maybe some like walnut or something in here that's dark, so I create the illusion of that lid kind of floating in that open spot there. So I'm going to deliberately cut this too thin, and then see where I'm at and adjust my fence with my micro adjuster accordingly to the correct position. So this won't be as deep. I'll have to do that by hand once I get the lid figured out. There she be. I'm just going to glue this. I'm not going to rely on any other reinforcements on that joint. That'll be done with those dovetail keys. So I'm going to get this glued up, and like I said, I'm going to glue the panel. I'll put some dots of glue in the center so that that doesn't move from the middle. It can expand and contract from the center in and out. And then I'm just going to get this thing as square as I possibly can. I've got 2 band clamps, and it every time I've clamped it with just the one, it squares up very well. So I'll glue it up, and then we'll come back probably tomorrow after everything has had a good amount of time to sit and cure here. All right, that didn't go together too badly. One thing that I learned quickly was putting glue on those miter joints. It soaked up pretty quickly and dried. I shouldn't say dried, kind of gelled up pretty quickly, so I had to move rather fast to get it together. But I got a little squeeze out. I'm happy with the way it looks. It's nice and square. So I'm real happy about that as well. It's squared right up again.